Stream 3 for the 5th round of the GT1 World Series 2013. The 6 hours of South City long. Chris Wilkinson here, and alongside me is the most crazy, massive commentary team I've ever had before. So I'm just going to look down the list. We have Chris Ford, we have Thilo Falkenberg, we have Oscar Hardwick, and we have Steve Martin as well. Everyone here, and we'll start with you, Chris, because we haven't seen you here for a long, long time.
I've seen me since the 24-hour race. Weren't here for. Is that is that right?
Oh, that might be right.
But I did 16 hours for an L when you couldn't be bothered to show up, and yeah.
I was pretending I was in Africa.
You were in the woods, weren't you? Yes,
yes, I was in the woods pretending I was in Africa.
Yeah, anyway, so you haven't seen me for a while, so what was the question?
The question was, we're here at South City, and we've already seen a massive, massive dynamic change with the qualifying results. Talk us through them.
Well, to be perfectly honest, I think that South City, I expected to favour the FZR a little bit more than it seems to have. And FXR is on pole position, as you'd sort of expect at South City. Vortex will lead us round, which is going to be interesting when an XR comes up to attempt to pass them, because I'm not entirely convinced Vortex will be able to maintain their pace from qualifying over the whole 6 hours today. Infinity Sports and Exxon are right up there as well, before championship leaders in X are 4th with Genuine Racing in 5th. Quite honestly, it's not that much of a surprise that NX didn't pull the lap together. I think that 4th is a decent result for them in XR. They will be possibly slightly perturbed to see Infinity and Exxon in XRs ahead of them, but still, 4th is a good place to start. Apart from at South City, because South City, it's got that nasty kink, left-hand kink at the start, and you've got a nasty little sort of narrowing right-hand kink with a wall on the right-hand side. Quite honestly, anything could happen at the start of this race. It usually does at South City. My first memory of South City is a massive accident in 2008 IGTC, where we had 3 cars flipping over out of the track. I mean, these sort of things can happen in the concrete twists and turns of South City.
And also, Oscar, we can't forget about those Armco barriers, can we? They're not very forgiving, are they?
Not at all. Obviously, every round the season has had walls or barriers of some sort, but they've had a nice big gravel trap. I say nice, some people got stuck in them, but there was room to slow down if you made a mistake. At South City, there is rarely room to slow down if you make a mistake, and even less room to slow down if you're getting pushed off when you're in a battle with someone else and they make a mistake. So it's a very unforgiving track. It's why you hear Chris talk about so many big accidents here. As soon as one person makes a mistake, they've gone off, and because, again, street circuits being a little narrower than we've experienced so far this series, well, it's just going to collect everyone. Big crashes are order of the day, and I expect it to be a bit mental from start to finish.
And Stephen, someone with a lot of admin experience in recent months, how are the guys up in the admin box going to actually deal with incidents and things like that today? Because it's going to be very, very busy, I imagine.
Indeed, I imagine there's going to be an awful lot of incidents for the reasons before it's very narrow. It's a natural home for incidents, and they're going to have to keep on their toes, look out for things, but also try and adjudicate on who's being naughty, who's been causing the incidents, and punish them accordingly.
Yep, well, the guys doing that up in the top, Jonathan Palmer will be our race director today, and as normal, Stuart Baker will be hoping not to spin again in the safety car. As we wait for the start of the rolling laps and the start of the race, we'll take a quick look through the grid, and through the series championship as we stand, and it's NX Racing leading the championship still on 256 points, 46 points clear of Team Virus. Genuine Racing are 3rd in the championship, 46 points shy as well, equal on points with Team Virus. Conquest Racing are 4th. Stig Breeding Program Pro are 5th, with 6th being Stig Breeding Program's amateur effort. That's also the championship leading amateur car at the moment, comfortably as a matter of fact. Core Racing Pro 2 are 7th, 8th the Genuine Racing 2. Terra Mind Factory Pro are 9th, 10th are Ixion Sim Sports Pro. 11th are Conquest Racing, 12th NX Racing 2, Savage Sim Sports 13th, 14th Helmneck Racing, 15th Core Racing Pro number 1. Last Lap Motorsports is 16th. 17th are Scuderia Gas. 18th Last Lap Motorsports, Team Virus 19th. Our pole sitters for the day, Vortex.eu, who have changed from the XRR now to the FXR. They were in 20th position. 21st are Infinity Esports Amateur. 22nd Green Angus Racing. 23rd ASX Motorsport. 24th are Diablo Skins. 25th Team Rock Racing. 26th are Team 6th A Fondo, I believe that's how you say it. I've been saying that wrong all season. 27th are R Force, 28th World Class Lions, 29th Savage Sim Sports 2, 30th are Core Racing Amateur. State Breeding Crow number 2 are 31st, 32nd Infinity Esports Pro, 33rd Team Virus 2, 34th Mafia Racing, 35th Last Lap Motorsport Bus, Green Angus Racing 2, 36th, 37th Terra Mine Factory Pro number 2, 38th Dixie Sim Sports XRR, 39th Savage Sim Sports 2, 40th Gravity Racing Team, Meridian Racing Team 41st, 42nd Dixie Sim Sports, 43rd Unknown Racers, and Extreme Racing are 44th.
Got there eventually.
Hey, there we go.
Now, I was just thinking, whilst you were going through the championship standings, that
Safety car roll.
in
Safety
the
car
season
roll.
so far, we have seen multiple red flags due to incidents, and we've seen those red flags on tracks where there is more room to manoeuvre through the first couple of corners than here. So I'm thinking, what would you reckon the odds are on getting a red flag early in this one today?
I think that we will be. Certainly the last time I was here there was, back in GT1 the last time I commentated on a race from South City. It's been a long time, so but yes, I do think there's a very high chance of that happening. Up the front we've got two guys in the pit lane, Dolder and Hassanen, for LLM and LLM.
The LLM Plus and LLM Plus 2, which I believe is a team that's been introduced for this round, probably because the FXR is actually pretty decent around here.
It's our ball sitter, obviously Yuansu from Vortex.eu. That white FXR, the car defeating qualifying. 1 minute 28.75. Only 800 seconds faster than anything Esport Pro, who line up behind them in second place. Hot Rocks started the race there. Very close to qualifying up the top end of the field at the sharp end, so a lot of potential for some very close racing today here from South City.
Looks like we've also had Green Angus Racing 2 have gone on for during this pace lap. Some damage to the front of that car already and just catching up to the pack again now.
So the guys forming up, I need to take a green flag. You've had some contracts on the outside. Doubling up now as we come onto the pit straight, and our safety car, Stuart Baker, in nicely now into the long pit lane here at South City Line. And as we prepare, you've got Sam Stiavantu on the right hand side,
Green
on
flag,
the inside, a green flag flies, and it's a great start there for the next racing. Pulling out. Bump drafting on the inside as well as you come into the first kick for the first time. And around the outside goes Coprox and takes the lead there for Infinity Esports, but can he stick it down the inside? He can. Conquest Racing super off in the background, yeah. But up in the front, it's still Yavadu, very sideways there from Infinity Esports. To the four. Gathers it back together. Like it was only single incident there with Conquest Racing so far on this first lap.
We've got a pilot further back, that's LLM, Green Angus Racing. I think that was 2 Savage Sim Sports. Yeah, a few caught up in that, and I think maybe even Conquest Am again caught up in that.
looks like it, because the front damage is new.
Oh, quick collision there, the hairpin as well. Meter and Razor coming together.
Stick breeding program, amateurs hitting the wall on the straight.
Gotta say that was actually one of the worst starts I think I've ever seen to a race by Infant Esports Pro, and quite honestly they're amazingly lucky that they did not get swamped up. The reason they didn't get swamped up is because the NX Racing car line had such a good start they gave them up. So they're very lucky to be in second position at the moment.
Yeah, meanwhile here's 3 wide, coming into turn number 1, Jaganic, Stekamaki, and around the outside goes Yasalo for Team Fire. Is a great move for that XRR, jumping 2 places past Stick Breeding Program, past Flashland Motorsports, to jump up into 10th place.
Waiting to happen there for Lekamaki coming through turn 1. If you're on the outside, I mean, you're going to be showing the ball fairly soon.
Yep, you're right, we're up in front still. Sam Sivansu for vortex.eu. Side by side action further back, Ludlow and Christoph. Narita and Corpus number 1 for 19th position there, having a little bit of a sore degree to hairpin. Not good, pulled away there for the court effort.
Nathan Lamont going there. I just thought he was attempting to swing past Garcia, got it all wrong, and almost ended up in the pit wall, which would have been rather embarrassing as he flew through the air.
Yes, it most certainly would be. Battling just behind Ben Kyoge between LLM and NV Esports Amateur. Also of note, the 7-4 car of Marida Racing Team. Expect to see a drive new penalty for them with an incorrect number plate. We're looking here at the car E-Team. Return to the NDR Series 3 team in that FXR. Currently by Pierre Perron, who actually got the amateur pole effectively behind the amateur car. And
it's worth wondering how the hell has Pierre Perron managed to get himself in an AM car. He's been driving GTs and LFS since I can remember, so they may be on that verge between AM and Pro in terms of the drivers in the car today.
Side by side between Taskinen and Maurice though, for 4th place, sorry. It's Taskinen that holds up Marais for just long enough to be able to hold on to that 4th position for Ixie and Simsport. Maris rather come past the car of Goik Conquest Racing in the past lap to take 5th place and start putting a little bit of pressure on the Ixian guys, but not being able to get by. Hajime, meanwhile, coming under attack from Pika Rainen. Pika Rainen must have also got past Pierre Perron now. There's 2 XRRs battling away. Virus Pro Genuine Racing. Side by side a little bit further as well, coming onto the pit straight.
Down into turn number 2, there's a car sideways in the battle, three-way battle. It's Stig breeding program, last lap motorsports, and it looks like the other Stig breeding program car.
Yes, it is
One
down
that was
the
very
side of it,
sideways.
Yep, that was on the 54 car. That ended up being the
Thilo
rear
down the
brakes.
inside, he sticks it down the inside of Hardwick Racing, our winners of the 24-hour race in amateur class. Thilo gets a better rub down to the corner, makes this car stick.
Oh, and Hellenic Racing getting battered there by the LLM Pro car, who in turn got tapped sideways by Gunsman, who's left with nowhere to go as Gunsman the 14 goes sideways.
Yep, he's under a little bit of pressure from Pyle now as well. Pyle and Watson back.
Who hits Gunsman for some reason.
Oh, looking down the inside, goes the Infinity Esports car, nearly making contact with the core car in a very, very bad way, coming into that final corner, or effectively the final corner.
Oh, Gunsman chops across the nose of Pyle there, says no, very, very, this is only a four-way battle. Gunsman is a little bit more of a room at the moment. Side by side, the T-Sports and Savage Sims. Oh, it's contact!
That's gone wrong.
And there's more contact! Oh, he's on the Barbosa! Massive accident! And that'll be a see, no, he's back on his wheels.
So lucky that nobody collected him as well.
That was actually
Big
big. That car is ruined.
Yeah, that was unfortunate incident for Core. They did absolutely nothing wrong. It was some forceful driving, shall we say.
Yeah, I think there it was just Infinity turning way too soon for a side-by-side move there and hitting the wall, got turned around. Poor Barbosa had nowhere to go in that instant, so that's Core Pro Tuesday, put to a pretty awful start, 10 minutes in.
Still 5 hours of minutes to go, of course, to try and recover the situation a little, but hard to bear early on in an endurance race. Nathan the Moth punting or attempting to put Mead under a little bit of pressure. Mead ran Green Angus Racing and the LLM car of Nathan the Moth just not being able to pull up the gap as much as he would like.
Vortex on the planet at the front there, FXR just now, Yaransu reeling off the fastest laps at the moment. We've seen this before, of course, in Super GT from Vortex. They normally have a great race until one of their drivers forgets that cars don't just magically vanish when they're coming out to lap them, and they end up normally taking a couple of cars out. So they'll be hoping they don't do that today.
Barbosa in the pit lane, and that's actually someone has come in to take over the Infinity AM car, so presumably they have suffered severe damage from that incident as well. And Largo in to take over from Wojciech for the 59 car.
Yep, the right hand side is completely smashed in. To be honest, you can get away with that sort of damage here in South City. I'm surprised they're going to change drivers in pit, actually. Very, very surprised.
Maybe they're not. It looks like Largo's actually just coming and run away again.
Plus maybe it's an attempt to get a second opinion on the actual damage, see if it's worth coming in.
Could be.
We've all done it. Side by side, further ahead between Ben Keel and Nestoras again, caught and Hellenic, and down the inside, look, Hellenic into the final corner, the final hairpin. Ben Keel is going to get a good run with that wider line. Hold on to the 14th position for now. Hellenic Racing on the FXI, you would have expected a little bit of a better performance in qualifying from them, wouldn't you?
A little bit. It's almost as though they were struggling with the one-lap pace.
Around the outside they go through turn 2, sorry. And they're going to be able to mount challenge, going down the inside of the 3 of Ben Keogh again. Ben Keogh holding in just enough room and managing to sneak around the outside. Well done, Ben, holding them off this long. We've got Vidoriaz for LLM also starting to approach this battle. Go on, Oscar.
I was just saying, Hellenic Racing were definitely off pace in qualifying, but they're seemingly not off pace in the race. I mean, this is the sort of place that they've run all season, and they're just picking up podiums in class from other people going off. So, fairly standard race pace from Hellenic Racing here, although, as you say, their one-lap pace was off what you'd have hoped.
They are currently 6th in the amateur class. An awesome performance from them so far, of course, but still hopefully looking up and a lot to be desired. Side by side though between Letamaki and Zaggio. Big brilliant program going on the inside, looking down the inside of Ixion. Ixion turning in very, very sharply. A little bit of rubbing there, door handles. And side by side coming through the sweepers. Now this is a very, very scary place to go side by side, isn't it, gents? Even just through there.
Isn't it? Well, going side by side anywhere on South City is scary enough.
Into the king, still side by side. We've already seen contact there once, we know how it ends. Thankfully these two can steer sensible. And Ixion, oh, too deep! Ben Keogh needed connecting. And Hellenic Racing actually losing out to the Ixion car. So that's split up the battle between Ben Keogh though, diving down the inside of Zaggio, looking there. Big breeding program taking advantage of the whole thing, but with Ixion going just way too deep into turn 2 and carrying way too much speed into the Armco he went. And Ben Keogh now all over the back of this big breeding program car. He wants 12th place and he wants bad craze.
Yeah, they're converging on Barbosa as well in the now lapped Core Pro 2 car. As Krompus in the 66 has spun it round in turn 8.
Battle for 5th position between Maurice and Toskanen, and the Jenner car goes around the Ixion car.
Yeah, the Ixion gone right from pressing qualifying, but the moment really is going backwards. That's our first FZR into the top 4, which to me is rather surprising. I would have thought an FZR would have had a bit more pace here at South City. It's more from an FZR track than it is an XR car. And what on earth is this genuine racing skin? This is very colourful.
It is, isn't it? It's a bit
It reminds you of that
loud.
pony thing.
That pony thing. Oh, the pony thing!
My Little Pony.
Yes,
I remember
that.
the pony thing.
I know Dominic Angle loves them. Like, goes to bed with them every night. So maybe it's
But I'm pretty sure Dominic's driving the other genuine racing car.
Yeah,
because
he's driving this.
Well, that's probably a good thing. Otherwise, Dom would probably, not want
He'd get
to.
distracted.
He'd just sort of go very, very slowly. Otherwise, he'd be scared of damaging it.
There aren't actually any pony on it, Laura.
No, but
Right.
it's the colours, isn't it?
I don't think you can describe a colour as like a pony.
Well,
Well, I
there's
don't think you
rainbow
can
colours
describe
all
the
around
colours of
car,
a rainbow
and then
as a
there's
pony.
light blue base. That's very My Little Pony-like.
Okay, it's not. So we have in fact decided here in the corner box that Genuine Racing number 2 have a car coloured like a pony without a pony. Now, back to racing, we have Letamaki in between Nestoras and Keogh, who were having that big fight earlier on. Now the Ixion car under pressure from Nestoras. Oh, and again he lost again. That Ixion Cinesport car looked incorrect judging turn 2 and way too deep he goes.
Dominic Angle confirms it's not supposed to be a My Little Pony skin. It's Flying Lizard skin.
Well, that's basically the same.
you actually just say there, Oscar, that a pony was the same thing as a flying lizard?
Yes.
Flying Lizard's a team. Okay.
I am aware of that. I'm aware of that, but still.
More than anything, it's to wind up Dominic a bit more.
Well, talking about this colorful car, what is really strange about this is the clutch. It looks like Francois is getting it to red sometimes around this track.
I think it's just because of all the like 90-degree corners and the hairpin and things like that, that you use much lower gears than you normally do in the FZR, and obviously the quickest way is to flat shift it, but it's not got a sequential gearbox. I imagine around here you'll see most of the FZRs getting particularly warm clutches as they try and flat shift it throughout the slower corners, when really they should be trying to fit a lift in there to save the clutch.
Speaking of FZRs, quite a number of the teams have gone R2, R3 today. Of course, an FXR can only run R4, R3, which means that their tyres will be very cold at the end. You know, it looks like it's mattering to our race leaders who are continuing to set the pace. But this is going to be interesting to see how far, for instance, the Genuine Racing car in 4th position can go with R2, R3 compounded tyres.
Tuscanen and the slipstream of Marie. Tries the outside lane, won't work through this corner around here, but he's in a perfect position for the start-finish home straight.
I don't think Goran's going to run as he expected there. He tried to cut back and get in behind the car of Marie's a little bit quicker, but misjudged it, turned a little bit too early, but it doesn't seem to matter. We've got a long side around the outside coming into the kick as they go side by side. And that Ixion car powers around and through, retaking the 4th place for now. Maria not being able to fight through particularly well through turn 2, and here comes Goik as well.
This FZR being on R2 or R3, they got to baby their tyres as much as possible at the stage when the tyres are just starting to creep up in temperature. It might mean that they'll be quicker at the end though, we'll just have to see, but they might not go as long. It's a bit of a balancing act. Oh, and Leitamaki's around in turn number 3. And our thing says contact with Gunzelman, so I'm assuming that Gunzelman had his nose down the inside and collision is made, and around he went on that Ixion car.
Oh, look at this right side suspension damage he collected. That's quite something.
Well, it's very hard to have an incident here and not collect one of these walls, and they provided you hit them on the side, they do tend to give you a good bit of suspension damage, don't they? So, unfortunate, but the way of things here is how to.
Meanwhile, Perron is pretty close to Pikkarainen for the E-Team Revival team.
Yes, he is. Not quite best of places through that tight, twisty technical section. Very, very difficult. As we've already seen to try and make a move through that technical section, isn't it, guys?
I'd say it's difficult to make a move pretty much everywhere around this track. It's always a struggle, and it always seems to lead to contact when you're trying to throw it up the inside.
I think the safest place is into the first hairpin, because you've got the room on the inside.
First hairpin in the final as well, that final hairpin was place you can try and make a dive.
Pikkarainen on the outside of Hireman. Hireman with a mistake, and E-Team picks up 2 positions here.
Pickerin's around in the final corner.
Yeah, Pickering in there recovering. Oh, yeah, very, very opportunistic by Pierre Perron to steal 7th place from Robin Hatton and Pickering's noses. And Perron wouldn't be shocked to see him with these guys here battling for 3rd place. 4th place rather. Meanwhile, just behind this group, Yasalo and Yaganitz. Team Barriers and Stick Breeding Program Pro. Who have just split up as soon as I started watching them. Might look today by the looks of it. Car Conquest Race still trying to get past Nathan Lamont all the way down to 21st place, and Conquest Racing, a team guys, seems to have quite a lot of one-lap pace as they try and go side by side, and do go side by side with Nathan Lamont into the final hairpin, takes his position with ease. But Zuber and Conquest Racing, they've always been very, very quick in one lap, but can never make a full race work, can they?
Does seem to be the way sometimes. I mean, Conquest have not had the easiest of seasons up to now, and judging from today, I mean, spinning in turn 1 for the AM team as well. It's not going to.
Contact between Goik and Maurice, and now look who's opportunistic again. Pierre Perron. And now he's right at the back of Francois Marie.
Yeah, here they come down the back with a good draft from Pierre Perron. And Marie going to the inside, defending for his life, coming into this final hairpin, but it's going to be Marie who's able to break a little bit later. Throughout the outside, still holding on. Coming now down this pitch straight through the kicks, a little bit of a touch on the wall from Perron, and backside contact coming down this pitch straight now as well. These two not wanting to give each other a millimetre, never mind.
Lower wings though for Marie, lower wings for Marie, he's back up the inside, contact, continuous contact, still contact, no more contact. If someone made it through that kick, that's how you drive through the kick, ladies and gentlemen. Perron, oh, he's going to go around the outside of him still, no, contact the wall, and Marie again. And the battle is Marie's.
As it is in Perron will have to clean his wounds after that one, because a lot of contact. And a big, actually a very hard contact with the wall in turn 2. I don't know if that's caused much damage. Unfortunately, I can't see it. But,
it caused damage, but not too much, I would say. But what is obvious is both suffered from this battle, because the Ixion car is away and another contact between Perron and Marie.
Yeah, a little love tap there from Perron coming into the hairpin. It's something we can see all night tonight.
French love for 5th place.
Nowhere near the position to try to move going into the final hairpin this time around. The love tap not working to his advantage as effectively as he thought it would. Pierre Perron. So there's always the next lap.
Yeah, and look at this. He is very close to Maurice. Maybe waiting for once for the first hairpin.
They went through the kink that come very, very close. You're right, bumper to bumper. And now No, he's not going to make the move. This time,
He
Maria,
lost a lot of grip in the King.
Maria turning in quite early still though, so Maria does have a few nerves about this one. Not entirely comfortable with Pierre Perron behind him. Looking behind this battle as well, we have Robin Heijman and Goik doing battle. Solo involved in this one as well. He's got clear of Jaginit's and stick breeding program further back. Riding on board now with Solo. We get a taste of what it really looks like from the cockpit of one of these cars rifling around South Sydney. Meanwhile, Nestoras trying to get past one of the stick breeding program cars. Not having much luck there though. Nicky Jakovic is connected to the server, so I assume there'll be a driver change on the Dixie cars very, very shortly. Gunselman as well, going down the inside and overtaking. Excuse me, oh yes, the left car. Oh, excuse me, that was horrible.
Very strange point of time for Tuscan to get into the pit lane.
It's 32 minutes into this race. If the clock is anything to go by, which probably isn't. 31 minutes, so we are about a minute late.
Oh, that's going to be a penalty.
What's going to be a penalty?
Nicky Darkovic just chatted to his teammate Tuskanen. Skype, please. Nicky Darkovic was kicked for that, and the team will get a penalty, I assume.
Well, if they don't actually have any contact with Tuskanen, it might have to be it might be something that might have to be. Oh, spinner there! It's Jaginitz and your Solo side by side through that first kink, and a very, very big spin for Jaginitz. Managed to keep it out of the wall for the most part, I think, and carried on. Oh, that was very, very scary moment for Jaginitz. Very high speed spin through that kink, and it just proves going side by side through there is not as easy as it looks. By side contact between LLM and the other one, into the esports amateur, and into the wall go LLM. Meanwhile, looking further forward, Pierre Perron still putting Francois Marais under a little bit of pressure. It's not Francois Marais, it's Maris. Is it?
Yeah, those two have evened down on lap times the last couple of laps. And let's wait when Tuskanen is going to go to the pit lane to serve his drive-through penalty. Dahl that just noticed the Infinity Esports car, which is coming to the lane.
Yeah. Again, a strange time to make pit stop.
Yeah, but when I look at his damage, then I can understand why he's pitting that early. quite significant right front damage. Like half of the bar was filled of the wishbones.
Looking back forwards into 13th and 14th place, Benkyo still not again. I think I had no sleep last night. Benkyo and Gunzelman are going side by side because Benkyo made a big mistake, contact between the two co-racing teammates in fact. And then conquer the wall for Kyo.
Tuscany in the pit lane for serving his penalty.
Yeah, it's been quite a while waiting to take that penalty. It's been quite a while since he got it. But it might have let him and his teammates start communicating, which is the main thing, and it's what Nick Jakovic had to do. Okay,
But he
apparently
lost quite some positions. He's now down in 11th.
He ended up where he used to be, around the 5th and 6th mark. Pierre Perron still hunting down Maris. Trying to lose a little bit though on this group. I'm looking forward on this group on Maris himself. I'm looking forward even further. Samsi Avansu for Vortex.eu about to start a new lap. His 23rd lap of the race so far. And looking back at where Kotrats is at the bottom of the straight, big gap, 8.76 seconds at the end of the 22nd lap, so big gap between leader and second place man. Don't forget you can keep up with all the gaps, all the positions, etc, on the NDR tracker at tracker.unidimensionracing.com. And also don't forget we're ready to field any of your questions here on the stream by popping them in the broadcast forum thread.
Or of course posting to Twitter.
Yes, do that. Twitter it.
I believe Wilco even has a number of different Twitter apps up for this one.
I have one.
One is a number.
It's more to make my social life easier rather than to assist in for speed broadcasting. But if it gets used for that as well, why not? And if I manage to turn Mickey out to Filthy has a two-tone Impreza, then all the merrier.
Which, if you haven't seen, by the way, is beautiful.
Oh, Ben
wow.
here with a mistake, and there goes the LLM car of the LLM Pro car. Ben turned into early from the looks of things in the fight with his teammate Gunzelman.
Yep, speaking of Gunzelman, he's putting the pressure on the stick breeding program. Amateur car now. Stick breeding program. Yes, amateur.
Amateur.
Sorry.
Green number plate.
They've got the same skin on the plate, so why don't they just change the colour like everybody else does? I don't understand it. I get angry. You know, you all know I do. But yes, Gunzelman choosing down that stick breeding program on the car might even have a draft coming out onto the pit straight, Oscar.
Indeed, it's a possibility. I mean, the thing with South City is you don't really have any straights that are long enough to utilise it fully. I mean, thinking back to the 24-hour race at Kyoto, you've got such long straights there.
Sorry to interrupt, Oscar, but down the inside he comes there, Gunzelman. And a good move. What?
No, it's okay. I've lost my train of thought completely now.
Oh.
We're talking about Kyoto and the straights there compared to the one
Kyoto,
straight
you've got
here.
straights that are easily twice the length of the longest straight at South City. So even in a car that's down on power, you can utilise the draft well enough to actually make up positions. South City, you've just got to be close enough coming into braking zones or get good runs off of the corners. Really, the draft isn't effective enough to always be passing unless you're in the XRR.
Plus, of course, the long straight here is broken up by 2 kings. If you see this thing as one long straight, so you're losing a lot of downforce through these kings if you're too close to the man ahead. One can easily say today that there are only men racing.
Well, I think Oscar's signed up with him. I mean, she.
Well, but none of the...
Oh, Hardwick blocking there, sorry to interrupt, Hardwick locking up, and we're going 3 wide now through the technical area. Goik and Figueredo are getting involved again, but Hardwick manages to hold on to it for now. Goik and Figueredo, and again, as I said, Genuine Racing, Conquest Racing and Team Virus all involved in this 3-way battle still. Behind Mareza, Paron and Hodgman, they're getting very, very late on the brakes, a little bit too deep. Very, very sideways, and somehow managed to hold on to it in that black and gold Genuine Racing car. Goik behind him in the Conquest Racing Pro car. They've got a better race than they normally do. They're sitting in 7th now, and Team Virus Pro in front of Team Virus Amateur, who haven't named themselves Virus Pro or Amateur, so they're just the same name, which is really annoying, in the same car, which is really annoying, are in the 9th.
Well, at least the 3rd team actually has a very different name.
I suppose.
E-Team. Because all members of the E-Team roster are actually on Virus.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Speaking of breakaways, we've had Terra Mine Factory racing at the 24-hour race. They are not around here because they are running out of people.
Oh.
They were the breakaway team from Evo.
Where's Evo?
Evo, well, actually those guys who did the endurance races broke away to Terra Mine Factory, which is a multi-gaming clan.
Where's Evo? Like the rest of Evo?
The rest of Evo is still Evo. They are just not that strongly around the international affairs. They are more in the German hemisphere of Live for Speed communities.
Could be. Certainly not hemisphere.
Well, in the dark sides of Live for Speed, so to speak. I mean, there is a contrast between the German community and the international.
There is, you're right, I've always noticed that. There is a very strong German community. You know, I've had side by side between Goik and Figueredo going down the inside of the final corner. Jobs are good, bit of comfort at the end. The jobs still are good.
Speaking of the German community, and speaking of Terra, they actually they were a breakaway from Evo. And they broke away with Paul Mantel, who now said that he goes into different ways than Terra Mine Factory. Suddenly silence in the commentary booth. If you wonder why, some guys turned off their microphones.
Currently, Victoria's and LLM there looking very racing behind Zajon. LLM putting a bit of pressure on Stick Breeding Program Amateur. which is something we haven't seen so far yet today.
Also, we might see soon a battle for second position, because NX closing up to Infinity Esports.
Yeah, you're right. There are Infinity Esports, and there behind is that is price for NX Racing. So far dominating the series, other than actually, no, I don't even know who won the 24 hours. Who won the 24 hours?
NX. By nearly a lap.
NX who have been dominating all season, put under a little bit of pressure today. 3 wide, sorry, though, going into the complex section into turn number 3. Vidorias, Yatazion and Ben Keogh, with Mark Kapal getting involved as well now. PB for somebody there as well, that's interesting to note. But looking far back, we've got Ben Keogh, who's been stuck behind this stick breeding program of car for a number of laps now, ever since that incident earlier on where he managed to skirt past him, and now might be his chance, looking in the hairpin, squeezed out into the wall.
And contact.
A little bit. Ben Keogh is a man who you'd expect to see making a cheeky little tap into the hairpin to make life
that was a
easier.
mistake, and now Martin Kapal is right on his back, and yeah, the call car lost so much momentum due to this one little, nearly another wall contact, braking back in.
Trying to move there for Ben Keogh.
Yeah, so, well.
Meanwhile, Pickering and Koik there got side by side. Seemingly mistake from Koik's. Stop the momentum, stop the chance. Saw them with around. That's a point. With around 47 minutes of this race gone, we'll take a quick look at the current standings. And as we know, Vortex EU still leading with 17 and 2 at the wheel. Infinity Sports Pro are second, third are NX Racing, and fourth are Genuine Racing 2. Fifth overall, and first in the amateur class is ET. Sixth are Genuine Racing, seventh Conquest Racing Pro. Team Barriers 8, Team Barriers Pro are 8, the 9th are amateur. Excuse me, 10th are Stick Breeding Program Pro, Exceeds Impulse Pro 11, 12th the Hardwick Racing Team. Co-Racing Pro 1 of 13, 14th Stick Breeding Program Amateur, 15th Stick Breeding 14th Battle Hard Motorsport, Stick Breeding Program Amateur 15th, 16th Core Racing Amateur, 17th Sim Sport 1, that's that Motorsport Plus 18th, 19th Racing Sim Sport Amateur, Conquest Racing Amateur at 20th, 21st, and that's that Motorsport Amateur, 22nd the Green Angus Racing, 23rd are Speedway Gas, 24th are Lap Motorsport Plus, Sim Sports 2 are 25th, 26th the Green Angus Racing 2, Team 6A Fondo is 27th, 28th Motorsport 2, 29th are Infinity Esports, and Meridia are 30th. No diamonds as yet. A few pit stops here and there. So far, quite a quiet race as we have a mistake.
Merida is. What is Merida doing? The 74.
I don't know, but whatever they've done, they're back on now.
It looked like they went straight where they were supposed to turn right, and then they backed up and did a 16-time turn.
Pickering and Heidel close enough to do battle. Thilo, want to talk us through that one?
Yeah. Hyman on the outside. Contact, big contact, big Pickering. That car smashed. Oh, Goik nearly avoiding this wounded car. And this virus car is so messed up.
well, it's a big hit for Pickering and the virus car.
And it's not like these small taps you sometimes have with the wall. If you have one giant hit, you have to directly adjust to this big change.
Oh, so, that was tap between the two cars, between Heisman and Pickering. A little bit of lag, a little bit of the tap. Being it in that inside wall going through the kink. Here comes Jaganitz looking at Yasalo as well, between the hairpin. No cheeky love tap there, he's going to be through the fairway. Try and get a run down the back straight. But yes, a big impact for Pickering and not one to round up.
And the 21 on the outside, this won't work. But now the stick reading program side by side with the virus amateur car. Now we've seen a virus car side by side with another car just minutes ago. And in fact they are catching up pretty fast to the wounded virus car, and so that's a puncture for stick reading program. They've punctured front right.
That's a puncture very early in the race.
Yeah, it looked like it had something to do that they were touching the outside wall on the braking.
The outside wall again, very hard, trying to get around the corner with that puncture tyre and B, get it up the way of everybody else who's now skewing past them. But very early puncture.
Yeah, just 15 minutes into the race, and don't forget, the first 5 minutes or so were more or less the formation lap. Just a very rough. The car in front of him is not. Oh well, never mind. Now it's going to be a very interesting corner. Oh, braking late.
Surprisingly well done with actually. That's
yeah, well, a bit like it was planned to let those two past by doing that, but
I would think he probably was, to be honest. Puncture. Barbosa being put another lap down, or a lap down by Doviaz, LLM. Barbosa really going to make up the numbers now after that big incident here earlier on in the race, at the start of the race. But only lap down, still chances to come back in the next 5 hours. But it'll be a struggle. Meanwhile, we do have almost a battle now, and in fact probably is a battle between Perron and Maris. Back up again for 4th place.
the next chapter in this French lap, and they actually have Kronbusch in front of them to lap.
Yep, that could make everything a little more interesting as we come into this into the sweeping bends at the end of the lap. Ready to start a new.
Yeah, but Kronbusch is really doing a good job letting those two through. E-Team would have closed up much better in this technical part if they haven't turned in too early at one point.
Yeah, but it's a common mistake here in South City, and well, it's a common mistake everywhere, but much more amplified in South City by the fact there's a mighty wall on the inside of the corner that you're going to absolutely clout if you do in that turn early. So,
Well, The good thing, though, is that not every detail of the suspension is simulated, especially of the suspension damage. I mean, turning in too early with concrete and concrete walls and rail guards usually means that you're losing your tire in real life.
Correct. Plenty of people doing that in LFS. But another problem with it that we are certainly overlooking is side by side with Goik and Heidman though coming into the final corner. And,
Yeah, that's another
Goik
problem
in
of
first.
LFS, yeah.
But yes, obviously not going to get your wheel ripped off, but at the same time, if you turn in too early, you're going to lose a lot of time too. Which
and
we overlook
Hireman
here.
on the outside, and with a big overlap. Goik
Yeah,
lifting there for a moment.
Goik does not want to get involved with Robin Heidman through that first corner. We've already seen one Heidman and somebody else making contact. Ends up
Pickerainen
in. Yes.
with the virus car.
Pickerainen, mind you, still running in 8th place. Still holding strong. Obviously, the damage isn't too spectacular. It's kind of a miracle to me that Pickerainen stayed out, continuing and finishing the stint from the looks of things. Well, judging by the amount of time he had to run, he's got a teammate behind him. He's not in a particularly threatening position as we are not even. Oh no, we are. Sorry, this is my TV director being useless. Meanwhile, Perron has managed to get past Maris. Watch it.
And Ron is the best placed amateur car as well, in the best placed amateur car, I was have to say. In 4th position.